Hello and welcome. This is going to be the part 2 of my plant tour, my indoor plant tour. It's all the plants that are in my upstairs, and there's a lot of them. I did one recently, but I've since rearranged, and there might be some new stuff in there from coming in for winter, so here we go. Okay, so part 2 is going to be my upstairs plants. And I've got a lot of them. So this is my living room, or front room as I call it. Let's just get started. So starting here with this left side of my bay window, got this small Sansevieria. I love these because they fill up their pot so nicely. And this one's grown quite a bit. It's from Sam's Club, which is like a bulk, one of those you need a membership type things. And there's my cat eating my friggin' plant. Gibby! Get out of there, you little turd. Okay. It's my big jade tree. I've had this for a number of years. It was in, I've already done a tour up here, but I've rearranged quite substantially. Here's my big mutant guy. He's kind of curling around. I've got him tied up. It's like a mother of millions of sorts. That just went a little bit crazy. It's kind of ugly, but I like it. Back there, I've got a couple different succulents. I think Echeveria, a jade, a propagated jade, and I've got a cutting of my Thanksgiving cactus, which is going to bloom, it looks like. Cool. I didn't see that before. Here's my sad little oxalis. A lot of them died back. I don't know if I just wasn't getting the care right, but I've got a few holding on, and they're doing okay now, so hopefully it'll expand. Here's a croton I got from Walmart. I split it up into 2 plants. So here's one of my pots, and the other one we'll get to. It was only $3. It's dropped some leaves, as they do. I just broke a leaf off my jade. But I think it's doing okay. Back there is one of my bird of paradise plants. It's hard to see, but yeah, another Walmart steal. Cutting of jade, my sad alocasia poly. Lost another leaf. They just kind of turned to mush. Yep. Fall off. I'm gonna not run the humidifier and not water for a while, I guess. Once again, my big Schefflera money tree or umbrella tree. It lost some leaves coming in for the winter, but it's doing okay. I think that's about normal. Move into this new shelf unit. I just recently acquired this. It's really allowed me to put more plants in this space. So starting up top is my mother string of pearls. It was going through some rough times, but I think this spot really is really good for it. It's doing better now. As I said, there are more. Another mixed bag of these succulents, mostly mother of millions. I think that's all I have in this one, actually. Got this pancake plant. It's just been growing and growing. It's getting a little lopsided, but it's doing okay. This pot actually doesn't have any drainage holes whatsoever. But I just eyeball it and it's been doing okay. I gotta pull some of those dead leaves off, but whatever. A little mini Schefflera. I've taken a lot of cuttings off this and it's now starting to bush out again. I don't know, I think I gave the cuttings away. Here's propagations of my first epiphytic cactus, my orchid cactus. They're doing great. I love that cacti. Some sort of succulent cutting conglomerate. Here is what I think is Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. It's put out a lot of growth real fast, and I know that they do that. I even have a new leaf coming in there. Let me know if I'm wrong. Here, I just keep a bottle of my neem oil mix. We've got a neon philodendron hanging there. Some sort of wave jade. It's a trailing type of jade. Back there's another, let's see, another mixed bag of succulents, another mixed bag with some string of pearl cuttings. Here's a new type of epiphytic cactus, some sort of orchid cactus that's put on a lot of new growth. It always kind of looks floppy like that. I truly enjoy this genre of plant. It's just weird and floppy. Flowers, I don't think that one will flower anytime soon, but here is my Monstera deliciosa. It needs a bigger pot. It's leaning and growing towards the light. I should probably turn it, but it's been doing good. It was outside. It got knocked over a couple times, but it bounced back. I do have fenestrated leaves. That one's got some damage from outside, but yeah, I love this plant. It's a little bit unruly, as you can see. Back there's a snake plant cutting. It is rooted. It's not growing much, but let's see how that goes. I just cut off the top of one of the leaves. It has huge leaves. More succulents. This is the one in my previous video that was outside all summer. This is the spot it got. Significantly less light. I think it'll pull through just fine. Here's a jade tree that it got blown over outside. One of the many casualties of having outside plants. But I took all the cuttings, and those are all these random jade cuttings throughout my house. And it's starting to resprout. This one I should probably cut off too, but I'm not going to. Here's that other half of that big croton I got. $3. It is starting to lose that coloration. You know, it gets a lot of light here, but it's nothing compared to probably the greenhouse it started at, but it's got a nice active growing apical meristem. And I thought it was branching, but it must have been the other one that's starting to branch. Here is this big floppy aloe. Also doesn't have any drainage. I just eyeball it. It actually dries out quite fast. I think it's just a big plant, little pot, so it probably needs water. This is a rescue aglaonema. The plant shop called it second chance plants. This one's real loose in there, but it's still green. It's just floppy. It's still growing. This one has bounced back really nicely. Those are new leaves. They used to have 4 or 5 stems, but they all rotted out. I think the shop overwatered it and underlighted it, but it's bouncing back. I just have to remind myself not to water this guy very much. And over here by my humidifier, which I do not like, is this bird's nest fern. It's alive. It's growing. I see a new little leaf coming out the middle there. And to round off this bay window area, I've got this massive ZZ plant. I don't know if grew that big stem over the summer. It was also outdoors. And it's in a pretty big pot. It was my first ZZ plant. It's doing pretty well. And my mother, epiphytic cactus, which I just noticed right now. I also have some Thanksgiving cactuses in there, and they're in full bloom. How did I miss that? Let's see. There's some blooms down there. Holy crap. That's pretty neat. Yeah, so that's this window. Wanted to shoot that now, so got the nice morning light. I'd say this guy is one of my favorite plants, period, and it's really got the prime spot here. It's really branching out. It grew a lot. And like I said, holy crap, blooms. That's from a Thanksgiving cactus cutting in there, not actually from the orchid cactus. So that's the window. Pretty jam-packed. I think it's aesthetically pleasing. The next sort of chunk of my living room is here, behind the couch, where Gibby watches over. So I'll start here. I could be wrong about this one. A philodendron cilium. It's still in its nursery pot. I just kind of put it in a bag and threw it in this cute basket. It seems to be growing and putting off leaves. I took off some of the more battered ones when I brought it in because it's pretty unruly. This is just a real old pothos that's been handed down. It's just recently started to perk up again. It was quite sad. It doesn't get a whole lot of light right here, just all indirect on my little bird cage stand. Nothing in this dark corner. And then we've got kind of a double door situation out to a porch. So obviously half of it is a plant window. So our bottom up is this other type of money tree. Something aquatica. I'm forgetting the species name right now. Here's this arrowhead plant that I repotted in a previous video, Syngonium. It's this whitish variety. It's been keeping its white because of my grow light here. Another bird of paradise. It's unfurled a couple new leaves since I got it. Back there's some sort of Tradescantia. People call it wandering Jew or wandering dude, depending on your preference. You've got a cutting of that big old orchid cactus. It's rooted. That's a new growth. This parlor palm looks pretty rough. My cat loves to eat it, so it recently got this new protected home. This beautiful pink Syngonium. And a mixed bag of succulents. Surprise. Down here, I've got it just hanging from this bottom shelf, is another pink Syngonium. I believe it's the same kind. And then either a Pothos Enjoy or a Pearls and Jade. Just kind of in this hanging pot. I just knotted together some hemp rope and tried to put a little catch underneath it. This is a little rubber tree that was at my mom's house, and she was getting frustrated with it, so I took it. It hasn't put off any new growth since I brought it here, but I did shine up the leaves because they were dusty. And we'll see how it does here. It's in nice loose soil. I had given her a cutting of my epiphytic cactus, which is growing in here. So I guess I've got a lot of babies of that now, which is good. I had been meaning to do that for a long time. This here is another old pothos. It's been in the family for a while. It's doing pretty good. If we use this door, it gets kind of a cold draft and kind of just pinches up against the window. Here's one of my spider plants. I'm trying to purge spider plants because they just sprawl out so much, and it's another feline favorite. But this one is solid green, which I don't see as much, so I might keep that. Got another cutting of the solid green back here. Here I've got a little button fern. I've had this for quite some time. Growing its little tendrils. No drainage, but really, I mean, I just totally guess with the watering of this, and it's pretty wet right now, but anything seems fine for this guy. And this spider plant used to be in my bathroom, but I just don't like spider plants anymore. I'm gonna give it away to a coworker. I just remembered, I think this is Puchera aquatica. Yeah, little money tree. It's one of those braided types that I kind of loosened the braids on as it grew. Back here in this dark corner, I think it gets some good indirect light. This light moves across throughout the day. I used to have it downstairs as it was getting established because I repotted it, and it really didn't have any roots when I got it out of a plant sale. But look how friggin' long this monster is. It can't stand up. But I think that's so cool. It's not your normal snake plant, that's for sure. We'll see how long. This is new growth since I got it. We'll see how long that guy gets in this new lighting situation. And this is where that cutting came from. And actually, I think it's from this tip here. Just chopped it off, stuck in some dirt. My smaller pieces did not take so well. I'm still trying. They're still green, but yeah, just an interesting snake plant. Low light situation. So my bathroom only has one plant. I used to have more, but due to some incidents, we decided to scale it back to this guy way up here. Like I said, it used to be my spider plant home, but I've grown tired of spider plants, so I've got this Scindaptus pictus. This I really like a lot. It's kind of a common, you know, whatever plant to a lot of people, but it's not common in my area. I see it a little bit further south when I go down there, and it's never nice full plants. And this one I actually got on a road trip, so it's kind of special. It's really not much more than fresh rooted cuttings right now, but I'm hoping it'll kind of trail down. This is not a south window, but it gets good afternoon light. I think it's west, so should do okay there. This is a messy spare bedroom, but these are rescues. I called it that because they were severely infested with mites, spider mites. This is a different kind of, yeah, infested. I gotta go wash my hands now. So, this is a different type of prayer plant, Marantaceae or something along those lines than what I have. I have one at work that's the pink, your basic pink kind, but this one's a little different. But yeah, like I said, it's just totally infested. I sprayed it down, I repotted it, and I'm still finding them. So every couple days I'll come in here. I don't come in this room much, but I'll turn the light on through the night and just spray her down with that neem oil spray. Occasionally kind of spritz it with water, though that's not really doing much for the humidity in here. I just thought it was a big, beautiful specimen. It was cheap. It's from a local greenhouse, which there aren't many around here. Really cool greenhouse, just end of the season, neglected, beautiful plant. I got this weird cactus too. I don't know what it is. I don't think it was infested, but I sprayed it down and it's in quarantine as well. Then I got this thorny, I'm forgetting the name. Maybe it'll come to me. Cuttings of that prayer plant, which are just fizzling out in this situation. We'll see. I still don't want to put even those by my other plants because this plant was so infested. And then this red aglaonema, which is just a gorgeous plant. Huge, but unfortunately also severely infested. I don't know what I'm going to do. They might live here for the whole winter if they can. And then I'll try and spray them down again in the spring. That one I didn't even repot yet, so it's a project. So thank you guys for joining me on this final part of my winter 2019 plant tour. Yeah, this will be the final tour for a while. It was long. I just brought a lot of stuff in, so it's real jam-packed. Stuff might get shifted around. But yeah, here's where it stands as of now. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.